significant slowdown in our industry. Remains challenging. We're seeing signs of recovery, but it's gradual.
In terms of the Bakkie builder, because that essentially is the clientele that you cater for, 9 stores that have been closed over the past while. We know that you are going to be selling some stores as well. Tell us about the environment in which you're experiencing on the ground.
We service a wider customer base, including bigger contractors and DIY customers.
So not just the Bakkie builder that the market alludes to?
No. And so we see different dynamics in different regions in the country. Our inland region's been performing well, whilst we see the coastal region experiencing a more subdued market trend.
In terms of the link with the residential property market, we know that residential property prices are still very flat. Tell us about the link that you have with those numbers, and if you watch them closely, to give you an indication as to where demand for your goods will go.
Yes, we are exposed to the residential market through the contractors. Building plans passed marginally up this year at 5.5%. Still subdued, still a lot of stock out there. It's also linked to the willingness of the financing institutions to provide financing to either purchasers or developers.
You're talking about financing. Is that one of the biggest hindrances to growth going forward?
Well, it's not the only impacting factor, but it definitely is a factor that impacts on our industry.
With regards to the boom years of 2004 to just before 2008, tell us about the construction space right now. We know that government still hasn't really made good on its plans to spend around 800 to 840 billion rand on infrastructure spend over the next few years. Would that filter down even to Iliad if it does come through? Yes,
it does. It's only a segment of our industry, and we're not hugely exposed to that, but it does have an impact to an extent.
Do you think that we could see the growth rates back to 2004, 2007 in construction?
We do expect a recovery, Eleni, but the type of levels we saw from 2004 to 2008, we won't see that clear soon.
Eugene, you were talking about also selling a few stores down the line. Tell us about what metric will be used in terms of selling the underperforming stores.
So we look at the performance of stores in a growth as well as a rebased down cycle over a period of time. The stores that's up for sale, or the businesses, are STT and Q-Light. Relatively small in the bigger scheme of things, but however businesses that's not been performing.
With regards to those underperforming outlets as a whole, and we know that you have been ruthless over the last 6 months, is this the worst of the lot? Have you still got a few stores under your eye?
We have no further plans in 2011 to rationalise the store base further. Depending on the market environment into the future, we'll of course be continuing to judge the performances of stores and their role in the portfolio.
With regards to your bigger shareholders, likes of Sanlam and Coronation, we know that it has been a tough environment. Tell us about the sentiment that emanates from your shareholders.
Our institutional shareholders have been very supportive, and they're well aware of the fact that we've got a clear roadmap that will turn the performance trends of this business around.
We know that the US economy is experiencing a downtrend at this point. We know that we could see another stimulus package coming through from there. And we also had Jill Marcus, the Reserve Bank governor, talking about taking monetary policy action if need be. Would an interest rate cut assist Iliad?
Well, the significant cuts we've had in the last couple of years hasn't made a huge difference. The biggest impact is probably on confidence levels.
Okay, so tell us about confidence levels, and when you are pricing in a recovery when it comes to that, is it about economic data starting to turn around?
There's some favourable economic data. Again, it's a gradual recovery on those KPIs, but however we remain positive that some benefit will come through to our industry.
When can we see the loss being turned around into a profit for Iliad? When are you pricing in a big movement?
Yeah. Outside of the once-off adjustments, we remain profitable, and we're confident that the performance and trends will from here onwards improve.
What are you advising investors for the second half of this year?
This is definitely a buy for the long term.
A buy for the long term?
Yes.
It's a buy and hold. Let's touch on the ceramic industry. We know that has also been under significant pressure. What do you plan to do?
Well, ceramics, we have rationalised the portfolio. We took out peripheral stores in Durban, Cape Town, Bloemfontein. Our historical strength base is in Gauteng, and we've seen significant improvements there.
Are you perhaps going into new territories, into South Africa, to figure out where the demand is actually coming from and not focusing so much on the hubs?
We believe there are more opportunities nationally, specifically in the rural areas. We will, however, take them one at a time, a conservative approach.